Hey guys, it's your boy Alex West Collects here, bringing you the most in-depth action figure reviews here on YouTube. And today we're taking the WWE Mattel Ultimate Edition Greatest Hits Charlotte Flair. If you are interested in grabbing this figure, it is now available and shipping from ringsidecollectibles.com. When you guys shop, use promo code FORLIFE to save 10% off your order. So we have Charlotte being re-released. This is an interesting choice. I know maybe not everyone's most wanted figure for them to do in the greatest hits, and it's pretty interesting. I feel like for the most part, correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like all the greatest hits figures that we've got have come from the mainline Ultimate release. It'll be interesting to see going forward. Will we start seeing Target exclusive figures, Amazon exclusive figures being re-released? But you know, there is the Hollywood Hogan that did come with this set where he was kind of plussed up. I'm curious to see if Charlotte Flair has any updated additions. I know she does not have the butterfly joints. I believe the original version did have the pinless elbow, so I don't know what else they could have done. This could just be a straight re-release. Now, if you guys do remember, this Charlotte Flair did not hit retail. So that's probably the thought process of putting her in the greatest hits wave. This was technically supposed to be, I believe, Series 6. Which featured The Rock, which was extremely hard to find. That was an Amazon exclusive. I believe Charlotte Flair, was she the Ringside Collectibles exclusive? I think that was the only place you could grab her. And she sold out pretty quick. And for the longest, this has been one of my favorite female figures in my collection. I feel like we've gotten so many great ones, especially Bianca Belair and, you know, even some Becky Lynch figures. But I absolutely have always really loved the Charlotte Flair. And not to mention, how could I forget the most recent Ultimate Edition Asuka. But I've always loved the Charlotte Flair, so I'm curious to see if there are any upgrades, maybe her robe or something, but we'll definitely compare. I do have the original figure, but you can see for the packaging, it is your standard Ultimate Edition box with a white. Primarily on the front, you got the little red here. It does have Charlotte Flair up top, Ultimate Edition logo. On the top, you will see it just says Flair. Flipping to the side, it has the Charlotte Flair nameplate with the Ultimate Edition logo. Flipping to the other side, you will have the image of Charlotte Flair. On the back, you have the awesome image here. You will see this is the best way to differentiate. It does have the Greatest Hits logo here on the back. You get the little read up if you guys want to pause. But let's come back. We're going to take a look at this figure and see what she's all about. So here we have our Ultimate Edition Greatest Hits Charlotte Flair and the packaging. So accessory-wise, she does come with a bunch of interchangeable hands. I just wanted to point out that I believe all these accessories are exactly the same as what we did receive with the initial release. So you will get a set of gesturing hands for Charlotte Flair to do her entrance pose. You also do get a set of open hands for her to do her Flair chops, as well as the mic open holding hands that come on the figure. Additionally, you do get two head sculpts. You get the kind of a big smile here with the mouth open, and you get more of the smirk for Charlotte Flair. Do like the sculpting of the hair, looks really nice. And of course, the major selling piece with this figure was this entrance robe. Look at how awesome it looks. I don't know if the same color or what. I will definitely get into it with comparisons because, like I said, I do have the original release Charlotte Flair figure. But this looks great. If you did miss out on the initial release, you will not be disappointed with this. It just looks so stunning in hand. Look at this kind of nice fuzzy material on the top. You can see all the silver pattern that goes onto it. It does Velcro here on in the front. And we will remove it off of the figure. If you guys want one more quick look at the back of all this different designs. Look at the peacocks on here. Look how big this robe is. It's just beautiful. Like I said, when I first reviewed this figure, I was blown away at how great it looked. So for people who missed out, it's nice that they can get an opportunity to grab this figure because it didn't see quite a major release like some other Ultimate figures. But here's a quick look at the robe off of the figure. Again, one more look at the back. You will not be disappointed. This is a stunning piece. You can take a look at the head sculpt here. We'll get a quick zoom in for you guys. Great likeness to Charlotte Flair. Again, you can see the big smiling grin. Underneath, you will see the gear here. She does have some different patterns on here with more of a pink and a purple. You can see all these different designs, her tattoo on her stomach. So there is no updated articulation with butterfly joints or anything. The torso is exactly the same. You can see the straps of her singlet here on the back. You can also see her little tattoo on her forearm. Taking a look at the other side, you will see her other tattoo as well. More tattoo detailing here on the side of her torso. At her lower trunks here, you can see that pattern does continue. She does kind of have this two-tone coloring to the knee pads. I don't really remember it looking like that, but I'm going to guess it was probably the same. You can see the CF on the boots in the nice red mold. I will say one thing that really stuck out to me with the original Charlotte Flair was I had a few of them. For some reason, they were a ringside exclusive, and Amazon was sending them out accidentally instead of The Rock. So I had two at one point. but the toe joint was so damn loose, and I feel like it's not on this one. I don't know if it's just, I think I had 3 of them at one point. They all had the same issue. I don't know if it was corrected. Let me know down in the comments below if you guys had any of that issue, but that was kind of a major complaint with me with this figure. If there were any, she does not have any drop-down hip articulation here. It is all exactly the same. I believe she is on the ball joints if you are curious. So here's the smiling skin. If you guys want to swap out the other head, we can go ahead and pop it off the figure. And you can port this on here. Oh, that actually sits really high, man. What the hell? You guys notice that? Does that look really high, or is that me, man? When you kind of peer her head back, I don't know if that just didn't pop in. Well, let's pop this off. Hopefully I didn't damage it. Oh, man. That's kind of snug. I'm going to come back. I'm going to heat this. All right, so I did play around with the head. I just was so worried I was going to break it. It just, when it popped in, it didn't quite kind of seamlessly go in, but doesn't seem to be any issue with the head. It is a little snug, and if you guys did watch my review of the Greatest Hits Hollywood Hogan, that also did have a little bit of an issue with the heads where they were a little hard, a little more snug than usual to swap on. So just be careful with this figure. It does sit a little high, but I guess the hair kind of covers it up so you don't really notice it. I guess it has to a point where the rope can go around it. I didn't remember that on the prior one. Maybe it is the same. I'm sure it's probably going to be the same because this is a re-release. But here is the more kind of like smiling head sculpt. I feel like I do like this one better. I actually do have this on the original Ultimate Edition release, which we'll bring in. But I do want to come back. I'm going to swap this head so you can just get one more close-up look of the kind of more open mouth scan. And here you go, that's just one more close-up look of the smiling skin. Let me know down in the comments below which head do you like better and which will you be using for your display. Alright, so it's comparison time. Can you guys guess which is the original release Ultimate and which is the Greatest Hits? Because to me, they seem identical here. If you guys want to know, take one quick guess before I point out. On the right here is the Greatest Hits version. On the left here, we do have the original version. Let's start with the robe first because there's going to be a lot of comparing to do here. I don't really notice any crazy differences right off the bat with the robe. I mean, I feel like for the most part, they are the same shade of pink. They do have the same designs. I guess the fur maybe looks a tad darker on the new one. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's the lighting or kind of the shape of it looks a little different. Could be just the way it was sitting in my display. As far as these two heads here, they do look to be identical again as well. I'm going to come back, I'm going to remove the robe off and kind of get into some comparisons with the gear. But for the most part, I'm going to say the robes look somewhat similar. So now that we have the robes off, let's get a better look at the attire and see if there are any differences. I feel like the head sculpts are exactly the same. So this is the original release here. She actually does have that same issue with that kind of long neck syndrome. I guess I just never really noticed it. But the hair does kind of cover it. I will say for as far as her top of the singlet, it seems to be a little brighter of a pink here on the top versus the original release. The tattoo placement looks to be a little better on the original release. The Greatest Hits has a little bit of a gap where it should be a little higher, I feel, as you can see with the original release here. But maybe the colors are a little brighter, I will say. Even on her trunks here, the purple seems to pop a little more than this one. Let me zoom in for you guys because, like I said, sometimes it's hard to pick up on camera. But you can kind of see it. Not much of a difference as far as the colors, but just enough. Same on the tattoos. They look to be in the same placement here. The knee pads are the same, so I was incorrect. I just didn't remember. But you will see that this freaking toe, man, just like, it was even just bent like that, just kind of standing there. That is not an issue with this one. This is definitely a lot stiffer. But the boots look to be the same. Same detailing on there. If you guys want to get a better look at the back of this figure. Like I said, it's hard to pick up all the comparison stuff. I'm not noticing anything too glaring where I'm going to say, hey, the original is significantly better. But a good comparison here, I can say that these are both still great figures. And one more quick Charlotte Flair comparison. So I have the Survivor Series Elite figure to compare versus this Ultimate Edition Greatest Hits. Obviously, the gear is a lot plainer, very similar, just plain black versus this one. But she is in scale. If you guys do want to maybe do some head swaps or something, that's definitely something you can do with this figure. If you guys are enjoying this video review, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think of this figure and if you will be adding it to your collection. And while you're at it, don't forget to turn on those notification bells. Stay tuned to the newest action figure reviews here on my channel. As far as the Charlotte Flair figure goes, I want to say this, if you guys have the original release, there's no need to buy it. It is exactly the same from what I'm seeing. But I think this, again, was geared towards those collectors who missed out. This figure didn't see a regular Ultimate Edition retail release. This was only available at Ringside Collectibles, with The Rock being exclusive to Amazon. So We did get a new updated Rock with Target, and here we have the greatest hits Charlotte coming out again. I think if you don't have this figure in your collection, go for it. This is without a doubt Charlotte Flair's best figure. The robe is stunning in hand. It really is a talking piece. It will stand out in your collection. People will notice it instantly just with the bright colors and all the detailing on it. So I say if you don't have it in your collection, go ahead and grab it. It is now available at ringsidecollectibles.com. Don't forget, the other figure in this set is the Ultimate Edition Hollywood Hogan. We already did a full review on this guy. Check it out on the channel if you have missed out. But both these figures are now available and shipping from ringsidecollectibles.com. When you shop, use promo code 4LIFE to save 10% off your order. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and TikTok at AlexWestCollects. Thank you so much for your continued support and tuning in. I will catch you all on the next video review.